Ah, I see. You can't put it down either.
I've never read anything like it, and I don't know that I want to again.
I know. I don't agree with anything that John Robinson Dewhurst says in that book. But he does make his point, unfortunately, about the disappearance of the family and free love. And...
He must be a bachelor.
No, he's married.
How many times?
There's nothing personal. He's merely a distinguished philosopher observing the trends of Western society.
Trends? Middle-aged daydreams set to statistics. Free love.
Seldom love and never free.
Hey, Grandma! Hello, Danny. Oh, Stephen, I have the ballet tickets for you and Diane for tomorrow night, and your gray suit is back from the cleaners.
Katy, look it!
First prize.
Danny, how wonderful.
Anybody'd come in first in that dummy class of yours.
I spelt on Agnes and Cynthia and Billy.
Oh, who couldn't?
And Gerald and Alvin and their brains.
Don't you think he deserves a dish of ice cream?
I certainly do.
They gave me words like grammar, constitution, and liquid.
No kidding.
I bet you can't spell any of those.
Oh, I could spell them backwards.
But they wouldn't come out right that way.
Come on, Danny.
Steve, would you like a dish of ice cream?
No, I don't think so. Thanks anyways, Grandma. We must inevitably ask ourselves, is marriage necessary?
To you by...
I'll be right there. Well, Senator Mason, this is a surprise.
What happened to you on Bill 300?
I was with the nays.
We caucused, Glenn.
I know.
You know, I sponsored that bill. And after all, I am chairman of your national committee.
I know.
This is not the first time you've bolted.
I can't come out for bills I don't believe in.
No, of course you can't. No, sir, you are here to vote your conscience. Yes, you are. I must say you've carved quite an image of yourself as an independent.
Thank you, sir.
You know, I don't think there's another junior congressman with a record like yours.
Well, really,
Of course, they expect to get reelected.
Well, so do I, Senator Mason.
Really? Well, that ought to be very easy. All you have to do is get out the registration, address the envelopes, lick the stamps, pass out the circulars, watch the polls, and pay for the billboards.
I had counted on a little help.
Then join the team.
And follow orders.
Look, that is no way to talk about party loyalty.
My first loyalty is to my convictions.
Look, the party supports the faithful, Glenn.
If that is a threat, let me say right now that my integrity is not negotiable.
Well, now, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Congressman. Let's back off a little bit. I mean, now look, we both need each other. Let's give a little, take a little.
You mean like that old game, heads you win, tails I lose?
Not at all, not at all. You know, the trouble is, you and I have been arguing back and forth across committee conference tables, and we've never had a chance to get together socially. Hey, you know, that boy of yours has quite a crush on my Diane.
Well, yes. The two of them are going to the ballet tomorrow night.
Say, listen, what about us old folks joining them? Come on now. It'll do us both good to shake a little of the dust off.
Well, all right, why not?
Good. Morley, you've got horse sense after all. I must be off. Roll call. Glenn, I'm glad you're working with me. You've got a tough election coming up in November.
Come in.
Stephen, have you seen a book of mine?
Which one?
Well, it was called Love in the... Never mind, I'm sure it's downstairs. Stephen, you know the rule. The radio's turned off when you're doing homework.
What time do we pick Diane up tomorrow night?
8 o'clock, as if you didn't know. Now, let me see your essay. You have to turn it in tomorrow morning.
Oh, I tried. I just couldn't think of anything to write about.
Stephen, you're living in the most exciting city in the world, and your father's a congressman.
But he's not a senator.
He's still a very young man.
I wish he'd hurry up and get old.
What do you think to say?
Then I'd have a chance with Diane. Well, she mostly goes out with cabinet members' sons.
Your father is pretty important right now.
Yeah, I guess. Do you think Diane likes me?
Of course she does.
Oh, I mean, really likes me.
Don't you think you should ask Diane that?
Oh, gee, Katy, she's the prettiest girl in the class, and some days you can't even talk to her. Oh, Katy, what do girls think about?
Well, all kinds of things. We are humans.
Well, I mean, do girls think about boys the way boys think about girls?
Well, if I told you, it would take all the mystery out of it.
Take all the mystery out of what?
Oh, that's our secret.
Oh, well, if I'm interrupting something.
No, not at all. Perhaps you could help Stephen work on his essay.
Well, what seems to be the trouble, son?
Well, I don't want to write about my summer vacation or my hobbies again.
Are those the topics your teacher assigned?
No,
Well,
but...
can't you think of something else, Stephen?
Well, gosh, Katy, the things I want to write about, I can't. Not for school.
Well, what are you afraid of?
Nothing. It's just that, well, none of the other kids...
Stephen, don't be one of the sheep.
Now, Katie's right. You've got to learn to stand on your own 2 feet.
But, Dad,
Your teacher should be encouraging you to strike out in bold and original directions.
in the 8th grade?
Mozart composed his first symphony when he was 3.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
And I'm 13. Well, it's no use. I'm 10 years too late.
Now's the time for you to start thinking for yourself.
You're a little bit young to read Emerson, Steve, but he once said, there comes a time in every man's education when he arrives at the conviction that envy is ignorance, that imitation is suicide. And he also said, whosoever would be a man must be a nonconformist.
Maybe you and Katy are right. Well, Diane likes guys to be independent.
Oh, that's what I came up here for. Steve, I've got a surprise for you.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. We are all going to join you and Diane at the ballet tomorrow night.
We? Who's we?
Well, the senator, Mrs. Mason, Katy, and me.
Oh, no, the whole family?
It was the senator's idea.
But you can't do this to me, Dad.
I'm afraid I'll have to, son.
But Diane and I want to be alone. At least I do.
Well, look, when it's all over, maybe you and your girl can sneak off somewhere to an ice cream parlor.
Stephen, it's late. You better get to work.
Free love. The way to happiness. And after we fished and swam and I fell off a horse, we came home. And that's how I spent my summer vacation. The end.
Thank you, Jimmy. Diane Mason.
How to Make a Shepherd's Pie by Diane Mason. To make
Isn't
a
she
shepherd's
wonderful?
pie,
You think so?
sliced, 1
You
pound
don't?
of ground beef.
No, I hate
6
girls.
large
What's the matter
Add
with
the
you?
vegetables, put them all together in a saucepan with the ground beef, but leave out the potatoes.
She's still
and
making
then
that
gently
old
bring
meat
to
pie.
boil.
What's yours
And
about?
vegetables in a
My
casserole.
father's life as a
Sprinkle
Washington
with grated
correspondent.
cheese and bake 45 minutes until brown. And your shepherd's pie is ready to serve.
Thank you, Diane. That's fine. Mr. Stephen Morley.
What's yours? Fun with Fido? Love, The Way to Happiness by Stephen Morley.
Danny, I've got to get into the shower. Danny, I have to be at Diane's house in an hour. Come on out of there. Katy, Dad, Grandma, Danny's in the bathroom and he won't come out. He's reading comic books in there. Make him quit it. Danny.
Danny!
Danny!
Nice indeed, Miss Holstrom.
Thank you, Congressman.
Oh, where's our Valentino? He's been dressing since dawn. Well, let's have a look at you.
You look very handsome.
Please, Dad, can I have your cufflinks?
What's wrong with yours?
You want me to be seen wearing imitation ivory bulldogs?
You picked them.
6 months ago in my youth. Besides, Diane's used to sophisticated men.
We wouldn't disappoint Diane, would we? All right, I'll swap with you.
Oh, thanks.
I've never seen you in such a state. I want to meet this girl.
Relax, Stephen.
You know, you're never going to win Diane that way.
Of course he will.
What would you suggest, Dad?
Well, rule number 1, don't fall all over yourself letting a girl know how much you like her. Keep them guessing.
And what is rule number 2?
Rule number 2, look at all the other girls and comment on how pretty they are. Don't you want to ask me about rule number 3?
No, and don't tell me. I don't think it's right for you to give Stephen such ideas.
Oh, it's the best thing in the world for him, son. Remember, never arrive on time for a date.
Always.
Afterwards, don't call them for at least a week.
The next day.
Let them know about all the other girls in your life.
Not a word.
Be a little bored. Indifference is their catnip.
I will not listen to another word of this.
Faced with the choice of a rose or a yawn?
Choose roses. Stephen, your father's a very clever man, and you should listen to what he says, but he has never been a woman. You want the girl of your dreams to be yours. Be punctual, be patient, be attentive, be faithful, be kind, and above all, be gentle.
And she will pat you on the head and run right off with a bearded poet who beats her. Of course, if she is the right girl, you can break all those rules.
Oh, Mr. Morley, just one
You might
day
even go so far as to buy her an ice cream soda.
Come on, Stephen.
Oh, hi, Diane. This is my dad and Katy.
Oh, aren't you going to ask us in, Diane?
Morley, I don't know where you're a worse menace, inside of Congress or out of it.
Sir?
No, now, please, spare me your apologies and your... I wouldn't let my daughter be seen with your son in the middle of Pennsylvania Avenue at high noon.
Will somebody please get the door?
I get it.
No, sir. No, sir. I have no comment to make at this time. What is the meaning of this?
Mr. Morley, Stephen has to go to school.
Not until he's answered a few questions.
Reporters, they insist on seeing you.
I'm sorry, Mother. I don't want to talk to anyone now. Did you read this? Congressman Morley and son involved in school free love controversy by Al Tatum.
That's Arnie's father. Arnie must have told him.
All right, listen to this. Parents were shocked to hear that the exclusive Layton Heights School was used as a platform to launch an all-out attack on marriage and the family. The speaker was none other than Congressman Morley's son, Stephen. In a closely reasoned essay, the student bluntly argued that free love was the wave of the future. Asked where he got his material, Steve said, "At home." Did you say that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Now, you know you never got any such material in this house.
But I did.
Stephen.
Well, it was from your book,
What book?
Love in the 21st Century.
Go to school. We will talk later.
Yes, sir.
Not that way. The reporters will chop you in half. Katy, why did you give Stephen that book to read?
I did not give it to him. He took it, but he meant no harm.
How did it ever get in this house in the first place?
I brought it here and gave it to Katy. It happens to be a serious study by a serious philosopher.
Well, I might have known. With the two of you in the house, it's a wonder I haven't been impeached.
You still might be.
Yes. Yes, Senator Mason. Very well, sir. Senator Mason will be over here to see me this afternoon.
This thing can cost us the election.
If my son needs to be punished, he will be, but it is only a schoolboy's essay.
Only? Do you realize that your boy has made every wire service here and abroad?
But at least they've all had a good laugh.
A horse laugh, yeah.
Oh, come now.
Your son and his antics have now represent our party to millions of voters.
It will all blow over.
What do you mean, blow over? My office is swamped with telegrams.
Who from? The loyal opposition?
Don't think that they're not going to use this. Your opponent has already ordered billboards saying a vote for Morley is a vote for freeloading and free loving.
Well, in that case, I can't lose.
Would you like some hot coffee?
No, not now.
No, thanks, Kitty.
Do you find this amusing?
No, far from it, but...
But nothing. Listen, Morley, this thing has got to be nipped in the bud before it mushrooms into a national issue. Now, I want your son to say that this was a practical joke, a prank, and that he doesn't believe a single solitary word of it.
Where's Stephen?
He's not home from school yet.
When he gets back, would you tell him I'd like to see him, please?
Yeah.
What's going on upstairs?
Oh, Senator Mason insists that Mr. Morley get Stephen to reverse himself on that essay.
Well, that's not altogether surprising.
Mrs. Morley, this is all my fault.
Oh, come, Katy, you know better than that. It's nobody's fault.
Well, you don't understand. Mr. Morley and I told Stephen to be more independent, to try something really different and original.
Well, the results were certainly original.
And what can you expect from a boy that age? He was just trying to please us. Oh, poor Stephen. He's had a terrible day.
Gee, school was great. 3 kids asked me for my autograph.
Autograph?
I gave it to him. Oh, and right outside the door, a photographer wanted to take my picture.
He did?
I let him take it. Diane said I was a man of the world. I'm kind of glad I listened to you and Dad and wrote that essay.
Well, you realize it has stirred up a lot of bitter feeling.
Oh, Dad said that always happens when you take a strong stand.
Yeah, it has not made things easier for your father.
Oh, it'll die down.
Well, Stephen, we can't wait for that. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to help us.
Sure, Katy.
You don't really believe those things you wrote.
I kind of do.
Oh. Well, as a favor to your father, you wouldn't mind telling the reporters you did not believe it.
You want me to lie?
Yeah, and, no.
You mean, tell a chocolate-coated lie? Dad said those are the worst kind.
He did?
Yes, he did.
Well, sometimes we have to be practical to save people we love.
But you and Dad told me to strike out in bold and original directions.
And we meant it. But we had no idea it would turn out this way.
Dad said free men didn't have to have safe thoughts. Whoever would be a man must be a nonconformist.
Your father has often said that politics is the art of the possible, and it does matter. Your father might lose his seat in Congress over this.
Gee, I wouldn't want that.
your father and Senator Mason would like to see you. I think it would be good, Stephen, if you say what they tell you to.
Yeah, I guess it's all right to be a nonconformist when nobody cares.
You've got a point there, Steve. But Senator Mason wants you to go back on what you wrote, Steve.
Come on, Glenn, the press is waiting.
All right, let's, let them in.
Come on in, Colin. Come on. Go right into the living room there. Find see Johnny with us, see what the boss is here. Yes, Bill, I read that thing that you did on me. I think that's a little bit below the belt.
All right.
Now, gentlemen, please sit down.
Senator, will the essay be an issue in the next campaign?
Absolutely not.
We hear it's costing you the women's vote.
That is absolute propaganda. The American women know that our party is the party of the American home. Now, you sit down right over there. Bill, you join him. I think you'll find room. Congressman Morley and his son are here to issue a statement that will once and for all put to rest this tempest in a pencil box. Glenn, your show.
Let me be brief. I agree with Senator Mason. The essay was unfortunate. Stephen is a little bit young to pose as an authority on love. But come to think of it, I did tell him to strike out on his own, and I am not now going to ask him to recant. If a schoolboy can't make a fool of himself without touching off a political controversy, we have come to a pretty pass. What's happened to our sense of humor? Has it gone completely out of our national life? Frankly, I think America is too big for this kind of nonsense. And that is my statement.
But Congressman, just a minute, sir. Is that all you have to say?
You know something, Katy? Dad's all right.
Yeah, Stephen, he is. Across the country, newspapers are applauding Congressman Morley's good sense. At last, we have a public figure with a sense of humor who doesn't lose perspective when a few crackpots and fanatics turn on the pressure and who refuses to let the inmates run the asylum.
You know, it's amazing how little good news will change the picture. Senator Mason called me this morning before I was out of the shower and told me he was so pleased the way things had worked out.
May I be excused?
Oh, what's the rush?
Oh, well, I have to finish rewriting my new essay before class.
Another essay?
What's this one called?
Second thoughts.
Your first ones were enough.
Well, you don't have to worry this time, Dad. It's about happy families and how couples stay married.
Independent, free-thinking young nonconformist.
Right. Where is he?
Out roller skating.
Oh. Where's Danny?
Well, that's a good question, come to think of it.
Yeah, come to think of it, we haven't heard a squeak out of him. I'd better go and see where he is.
You know, I have arrived at a conclusion based on all this.
Daddy!
Good.
The boys are capable of handling a lot more than we give them credit for.
He must be upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Danny! Danny? Danny! Danny!
Oh, hi, Katy.
Let me have that.
Have what?
You know what you're reading.
Oh, gee, do I have to?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, Katy, I know I'm not supposed to, but this is the best comic book I ever read.
Katy, the farmer's daughter. You can't resist that gal.
Stay tuned for Here Come the Brides, coming up next on TV 39.
Sprinkled with sunshine, look at the farmer's daughter. She'll perk up your morale. Her brand of charm is so disarming, frowns turn upside down. The old Wadette to Sweden, she's just what we've been needing. So glad the farmer's daughter came to town.